Hi guys, welcome to another class. Today we're doing a nice, simple daily flow to help our hips open up and work the most functionally for us day in and day out. So when you're ready, grab a pillow or a bolster and then just come to a sitting position on your heels. Let the spine grow long. And then fold yourself forward, child's pose. Alright, for a lot of us who have really tight hips, child's pose isn't that comfortable position. So I encourage you here in the first few minutes of class to shift up the positioning of your lower body to make this work the most functionally for your hips. Instead of trying to fit your body into this pose, make the pose fit for your body. For a lot of us, that means get the knees and feet really wide. Let the belly have room. I don't like the knees touching my belly at all when I'm breathing in this posture. You can put a pillow or a bolster underneath your ankles or even underneath your booty if you want to get some weight off the lower body. Try to center into ourselves. Just start to notice what it feels like to be aware of our felt sense and what our body's telling us day in and day out. Big breath in. And out. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders and press yourself up. Tuck your toes under and then sit the weight back into your heels, stretching out the toes. Here, let's be very cognizant of ankles stacking over the toe space, so we're not bending too much in the outside or inside of the ankle, which can be really common if our ankles are pretty prone to straining and spraining. All right, stretching out the dense connective tissue of the soles of our feet. Good, and then let that go. Bring your right leg forward. Keep the left leg bent, and then just straighten and bend the front leg, slowly getting into the hips. Good. Keep the feet orientation, but have the back leg swing to be perpendicular with your mat. And then bend forward and back into this front right leg, opening up the inner thigh. Good. Again, pulsing back and forth, slowly letting things open. Letting the breath lead the movement. And then walk yourself around to have your left foot be the front foot that we're stretching, and the right leg is the support. Both feet are parallel with the mat, and you're sinking forward into your hip and then leaning the hips back to stack over the back knee, opening up the hamstring or the back line of our leg. Going as slow or as fast as you need for your hips and for the stiffness you're feeling in your body. Through these postures, we want to find lift of our belly and our spine out of our hips. So the movement is really happening through the deep musculature of our pelvic bowl, not from the bendiness of our low back. Good, and then goalpost that back leg, so have it come perpendicular with the mat, pulsing the front leg forward and back, opening up the inner thigh. Deep, full breathing. Maybe linger in one posture. It feels extra juicy. Bring the weight into the feet and pop yourself up on both feet. Wide-legged pose. Knees and toes are pointed out at a diagonal. And then with strength, stand yourself all the way up. Reach your hands up over your head. Big inhale. Exhale, bring the hands to the knees and drop one shoulder down. Stretch out of your waistband, and then the other side. Stretching out of the waistband. Big breath in as we twist our ribs away from our hip space. Good. Again, we're still feeling lifted in our pelvic bowl. The pelvic floor is lifting us up as we stretch out those muscles that attach the base part of our hips to our legs. Good. Straighten the legs. Bend your upper body down. Wide-legged forward fold. Use whatever arm variation feels good to you right now. Try to let the upper body get heavy and soft. So we're letting gravity help the musculature of our hips and our back find some space from each other and open up. Bend deeply into your knees. Bring the feet a little bit closer together and try to sit your hips all the way down between the feet. It's okay to use your hands to help you. Wiggle your butt a little bit back, getting your sits bones or that base part of our pelvic bowl down on the ground. And then take your left leg, bend it at the knee, and place the ankle on the right thigh. And then you can choose. The more you bend forward, the more stretch you're going to feel through the butt and the outer hip. Good, and then hug the left knee into your chest. Let the crown of the head go long, squeezing the knee more in, and if you still want more sensation through the outer hip, you can twist towards the left side. Making sure our back is straight and you're feeling the boniness of our sits bones pressing down into the ground. That's our firm contact. Then our sacrum and our spine can lift out of. And let the left leg go long. Maybe wiggle out the hips a little bit and reorient the sits bones down, and then same thing on the other side. Right leg, knee bends at 90 degrees, foot and ankle come over the left thigh. You can press a hand on the floating knee, or you can bend forward if you're seeking more sensation and stretch through the outer hip. Big breath in and out. Squeeze the right knee into your chest. Encourage the spine to go long. The more you squeeze the leg in, or the more you twist towards the right, the greater sensation you're going to be feeling. And try to let the felt sense drop into that hip space. Try to have some cognitive control over that relaxation response, the softening of our hips. Let the leg go long. Shake out the thighs, point the toes, flex the heels. And then bend the knees, soles of feet on the ground. Bring the hands behind you. Fingers are facing the same way as the toes. With strength through your core, lift your hips off the ground. And let it go. From here, come to standing on your knees and extend your right leg long. Then side body stretch. Left arm comes closer to right leg. Left arm comes down, right leg lifts up, side plank. Inhale, lift the arm, side body stretch towards the extended leg. Exhale, engage the core, side plank, lift the floating leg up. And then try to lift your torso up without lowering the foot down. Torso is lifted, then lower the foot down. Windmill your arms to frame the extended leg. Pivot the hips forward. Lift the knee off the ground. Straighten both legs. Engage through the back heel. And then bring the weight heavy into that front foot with strength. Lift the back leg off the ground, engaging your glute muscles, and slowly step it forward to meet the front foot. Inhale, rise yourself all the way up, arms up over your head. Exhale, sink deep into your knees, chair pose. Choose your arm variation. Catch your breath, big inhales, big exhales. Next inhale, straighten the legs, lift your arms up over your head. Exhale, right leg lifts up. Ankle hooks on the left knee. Right knee goes wide, figure four legs. Sit deeper into the stretch. Inhale with strength. Straighten the standing leg. Let the right leg kick out in front of you and then behind. Wide-legged forward fold. Knees and toes facing out at a diagonal. Bring your hands to your knees and bend one shoulder forward and down and switch opposite side. Good, and this time bend your right leg and have the knee come down on the ground. Left leg is out long. Stretch the arm, side body bend towards the straightened leg. Exhale, hand comes down, side plank, lift the leg. Move through these motions with your breath leading the movement, going nice and slow, finding proper engagement through the core for support and activation of that glute muscle to lift the extended leg long off the ground. And then this last round, try to lift your leg up and then lift your torso without lowering the leg. And then with control, place the floating leg down. Spin the body forward, arms frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift the knee. Kick through the heel and then straighten the front leg. And the chin come closer to the chest, rounding the back body towards the knee. And then bring weight into the front foot with control, and using your glute activation, lift the back leg up off the ground, kick it high, and then have it swing forward to meet the front foot. Forward fold. Big inhale, lift your arms up over your head, stand up. Exhale, sink your hips low. Chair pose, arms come into whatever variation makes sense for you. Inhale, lift yourself all the way up, straighten the legs, maybe backward bend. Lift the left leg, Have the ankle come across the right knee. Knee goes wide. Sink deeper into your hips. Figure 4, chair pose. Hips sink lower for more stretch. Inhale with strength, straighten the standing leg. Let the floating leg kick forward and then swing back. Wide-legged forward fold. Bend deeply into your knees. Knees and toes tracking the same way. And then sink your hips low between your knees. Squat pose. And left knee comes down onto the ground. You side plank with the right leg lifted. Hold for 30 seconds. You can choose to do leg lifts if you want to gain more glute medius strength. Exhale, let it all go. Plank pose. Hold for a big breath. And then lower the knees down. Sink yourself back into an activated child's pose or puppy pose. Opening up the chest and the feet. Catching your breath before we move on to the other side. Inhale, come back and bring your right leg to goal post. Side plank, left leg lifts up. Core is engaged. And you hold this or you do gentle leg lifts, whatever you prefer. Crown of head is actively pulling away from the shoulders. And then let it go and walk yourself towards the front of the mat, both knees back. Sink yourself down into a child's pose. This time make it a restorative, passive child's pose. So widen the legs. So similar positioning that we found at the beginning of class. Settle your breath. Notice your heart rate. Maybe you're noticing a difference of sensation in your hips from beginning of class. Come to a comfortable seating position, legs crossed. We just did a lot of work opening our hips, so hopefully this position is a bit more accessible to you. We're going to do a 10-minute sit. So let the crown of head go long, spine is long. That foundational core is activated, so we're lifting out of our pelvic bowl. Hands can be wherever it feels comfortable. Eyes are closed or the gaze is soft and blurry. And try to bring your attention to the crown of your head, top, middle part of your head. And if this is your first time doing an awareness practice through your midline, go ahead and bring your hand to the top of your head, crown of head, to find that awareness. Use some external touch to help you find internally what it feels like to live at the crown of our head. Anchor your awareness to this spot on the top of our head. And then slowly trace it down to the midline of our skull, meeting at the base part of our brain, spinal cord, forward as it exits the skull and moves into the neck region. Moving down through our neck as our neck gets longer and grows taller. Softly swimming through our chest, behind our heart, allowing more 3D space from front to back. Moving down further to the diaphragm area, musculature that separates our upper torso from our lower torso. Down through the solar plexus, belly region, landing at the base of our spine, sacrum area. Letting the belly puff out and expand. And the sacrum widen in all directions, left and right, front and back, up and down. Allowing your awareness to expand beyond the center line, in a circular direction. And then carry your awareness from the base of your sacrum back up to the crown of your head. Working on straightening the awareness through our midline of our body. Both the literal and figurative midline of our body. And then let your awareness at its own pace wash itself from crown of head to base of sacrum, back up to crown of head and base of sacrum. The energy centers of our body, the conjunction area of high volume of our nerves coming towards the spinal cord, the highway of communication from brain to body. Bringing the focus back to our midline. Scan your awareness up and down the center points of your body. And I always think it's important to mention here, if these areas feel a little different left and right, or if some of them are dull or lacking in awareness and sensation. That's okay, that's normal. To have every single energy center of our midline and spine being fully alive in our brain space is pretty hard to ask. And we can always pursue the ability to neutralize and enliven our spine. That's why we keep coming back to the work and keep coming back to the practices of awareness and embodiment. Alright, I'm going to wrap up the class here. I'll keep the video running for another 5 minutes if you'd like to continue this work and sit in relative silence. I hope this landed, and you can use this daily practice and daily flow as many times as you need. And I'll see you next time.